Right. So get this. Today, we're going to be diving into one single date,
Oh, wow.
February 11th.
Interesting.
And you would be surprised, trust me,
Yeah.
at how much happened on this,
A seemingly ordinary.
seemingly ordinary day.
Yeah.
You ready for this? We've got historical milestones,
Oh.
some pop culture quirks,
Okay.
and a whole lineup of birthdays that'll make your head spin.
Wow.
So first,
Let's do it.
we're going all the way back
Okay.
to 1752 in colonial America.
All right.
Picture it.
Okay.
Philadelphia, cobblestone streets, horse-drawn carriages, and the grand opening of America's very first hospital.
Oh, wow.
The very first.
That's a big one.
You would think they'd be ready to go, right?
You would think, yeah.
Staffed up, ready to treat patients.
Yeah. But yet
Oh,
this
get it.
records show that the first doctor didn't actually start working there for another 2 years.
Wow, so they had this brand new hospital just sitting there for 2 years.
2 years.
What was the holdup? What was going on?
Was it like a now hiring sign outside for 2 years?
I mean, it's 1752.
Yeah,
Medicine was a completely different world back then.
totally.
I mean, no germ theory, limited training.
Right.
And then you have to think about it, like crossing the Atlantic to get to the colonies.
Oh, yeah.
Daunting.
Daunting is an understatement.
So to find a qualified doctor willing to not only make that journey,
Right.
but then to convince them that Philadelphia was the place to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Must have been quite the challenge.
that must have been a real challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, it really makes you appreciate how far we've come
Right.
in terms of medical care
Absolutely.
and,
Yeah.
the availability of these skilled professionals.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay,
Okay.
let's fast forward now
Okay.
to 1858.
Okay.
We're in France now. And we meet this young French girl named Bernadette,
Okay.
who claimed to have seen visions of the Virgin Mary.
Interesting.
And now this is where it gets interesting. Pop icon Madonna
Yeah.
actually named her daughter Lourdes
Oh, wow.
after the sight of those very visions.
So the story of Bernadette and Lourdes had like a deep impact
Yeah.
on Madonna. I mean, shaping her beliefs and even influencing her choice of name for her daughter.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's a testament to how like these events can resonate through time and influence culture in such unexpected ways.
That is quite the connection.
It is.
19th century vision,
Yeah.
21st century pop star.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, hold on to your hats.
Okay.
Because we are going to 1942,
Right.
the year the iconic Archie comic book made its debut.
Oh, Archie.
Has anyone checked on Jughead?
Yeah, he's been in high school for like 80 years.
I know.
The Archie comics, though, I mean, they've definitely evolved.
For sure.
Over the decades, right?
Yeah.
To reflect changing social norms.
Of course.
But there's something about those characters and their like
Right.
high school shenanigans
Yeah.
that just feels so timeless. Yeah.
Maybe Jughead's eternal adolescence speaks to, I mean, maybe it's our collective nostalgia for a simpler time.
Okay.
Or maybe he just really loves Riverdale High.
Maybe he just loves those burgers.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Next up, we're jumping to 1960 for a moment of television history.
Okay.
Right. Talk show host Jack Pear walks off his show in the middle of a taping
What?
and never came back.
Wow.
That's got to be wild.
Talk about unpredictable.
Right.
I mean, that must have sent like shockwaves through the industry.
Yep.
I mean, that incident really highlighted the growing power of television. And it kind of raises questions about like the line between public and private persona,
Oh, yeah.
which is like even more relevant today
Oh, totally.
with social media and the constant scrutiny.
Right. Imagine if that happened today.
Oh my gosh.
The Twitter storm.
It would be absolute chaos.
Total chaos.
All right, now for a real cultural earthquake.
We are heading to 1964, the year Beatlemania
Oh, yeah.
took America by storm.
The Beatles.
I'm talking screaming fans,
Yeah.
fainting crowds,
I can only imagine.
the Fab Four performing their very first U.S. concert in Washington, D.C.
Ow.
What do you think it was about them that sparked such a frenzy?
Well, I think the Beatles, they weren't just a band, they were a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Their music, style, their message of peace and love.
Yeah.
It resonated with a whole generation
Right.
that was coming of age in a time of massive social upheaval.
It was a crazy time.
They challenged conventions, they pushed boundaries, and they really redefined what it meant to be rebellious. They were a movement.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible how their music still resonates with people today.
It is.
I remember when I was a kid, I learned how to play Let It Be on the piano.
Oh, nice.
And it felt like a window into a whole different world.
Yeah, I get that.
Speaking of things that resonate,
Oh, yeah.
in 1972, the world was captivated by the planned autobiography of billionaire Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes.
But plot twist,
Was.
the whole thing turned out to be a hoax.
Oh, wow.
Talk about fake news before the internet even existed.
Right. The Hughes hoax, though,
Yeah.
it's a reminder that these attempts to manipulate public perception,
Yeah,
shape narratives for specific agendas,
for sure.
have always been around.
They've always been there.
Yeah.
But,
But the speed and scale, right?
oh my God.
With the internet now,
Insane.
how fast information spreads, true and false,
Right.
makes discerning truth from falsehood more crucial than ever.
You said it?
Yeah,
Deep fakes, fabricated stories.
it's a lot.
Feels like a constant battle
It does.
against misinformation.
Yeah.
So in 1978, President Jimmy Carter boards a Boeing 747 as Air Force One,
Oh, wow.
marking the first time a president has flown in this iconic aircraft. It makes you think about how much technology, even something as seemingly commonplace as presidential travel,
Right.
has changed
It has changed a lot.
over the years.
Yeah, I mean, Air Force One, though, it's not just a plane.
No,
It's a symbol of American power
it really is.
and a flying representation of the presidency.
Absolutely.
So Carter being the first to fly on a 747 reflects not just a technological advancement,
Yeah.
but also
Right.
the increasing globalization of the presidency.
Absolutely. Okay, so to wrap up this first leg of our February 11th journey,
Right.
we land in 1993 with a historic moment for women in America. Janet Reno
Yeah.
shatters a glass ceiling, becoming the first female Attorney General of the United States.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Janet Reno's appointment was a landmark achievement,
Definitely.
serving for 8 years.
Yeah.
She demonstrated that women are equally capable of holding these positions of power and authority.
For sure.
Her legacy.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder of the progress we've made in gender equality.
Yeah. But it also highlights that
Yeah,
we still got work to do.
we do.
The fight continues
It does.
for equal representation.
Oh, absolutely.
It's truly inspiring, though, to see how women continue to break barriers
It is.
and achieve incredible things
It is.
in all fields.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot more ground to cover on this deep dive. Get ready for a whirlwind tour of notable birthdays coming up next.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right.
All right, let's jump into these birthdays.
Okay, so to kick things off,
Yeah.
we've got Taylor Lautner
Oh, okay.
turning 33 today.
Wow. 33.
Yeah, you might remember him as
Oh, as the shape-shifting heartthrob from Twilight.
from Twilight.
Yeah.
What's he been up to since, Howlin' at the Moon?
Well, that's the thing with these, breakout roles.
Right.
They can be a blessing and a curse.
Right.
It can be a real challenge for these young actors to break free from those early successes and establish themselves as versatile performers.
It's got to be tough.
It's got to be tough.
That pressure to constantly reinvent yourself.
Yeah, and prove you're more than just that one character.
Speaking of powerful women,
Okay.
we've got Kelly Rowland celebrating her 44th birthday.
Wow. 44.
While she rose to fame as part of Destiny's Child,
Yeah.
she's also carved out a really successful solo career.
Which, That's no easy feat.
Yeah.
Especially when you're sharing the stage with, like,
I mean, come on.
Beyonce.
It's Beyonce.
Right. It takes immense talent and determination to step out of that shadow
Absolutely.
and create your own unique space.
For sure.
In the music industry.
It really speaks volumes.
It does.
About Kelly's talent.
Absolutely.
And drive.
For sure.
Next up, let's raise a glass to Brandy.
Oh, okay.
Who's turning 46 today.
All right.
I mean, she's done it all.
I mean, she has
Singing, acting,
Broadway.
even gracing the Broadway stage.
That's amazing.
What do you think the secret is to her success across so many different creative avenues?
I think it's that willingness to, like, embrace new challenges and constantly evolve, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, she started as a teen pop star, transitioned to acting with, like, iconic roles like Cinderella.
Yes.
And then conquered Broadway.
And Broadway.
That kind of versatility is truly inspiring, especially for, like, you know,
Young artists.
young artists trying to find their path.
Now, for someone who just seems to defy the laws of time,
Okay.
Jennifer Aniston
Oh, wow.
is celebrating her 56th birthday.
56, she doesn't look it.
I know. And she's managed to stay America's sweetheart.
She has.
And let's be honest,
What?
she still rocks that Rachel haircut in our hearts.
She does, but I think Aniston's appeal goes beyond just, like, her looks, you know?
Oh, sure.
She's relatable. She seems genuinely down to earth. And she's made, like,
Smart choices.
smart career choices. Yeah.
Balancing those blockbuster hits
Uh-huh.
with more indie projects.
Yeah. And she's proof that you can stay true to yourself
I see it.
and still achieve incredible success in Hollywood.
And you know what? She just seems like someone you'd want to hang out with.
She does. She seems very cool.
Now let's crank up the volume for Sheryl Crow,
Oh, I love Sheryl Crow.
who's turning 63 today.
Wow, 63.
Her music is like the soundtrack to the 90s,
It is such good music.
but her influence extends far beyond just catchy tunes, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Crow has been such a powerful voice for female singer-songwriters,
She has.
paving the way
Yeah.
for artists to be both commercially successful
Right.
and outspoken about their beliefs.
Yeah.
And she's used her platform to advocate for.
Oh, like environmental causes.
Yeah, and just speak out on important
Oh,
issues.
sure. It shows you can rock out and make a difference.
I love that she uses her voice for more than just singing.
Me too. Me too.
Speaking of incredible talent, we have Olympic speed skater Mary Doctor turning 64 today.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I have to admit, I don't know much about speed skating,
Yeah.
but it takes an incredible amount of dedication to reach that level
It really does.
of athleticism.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the hype of the more popular sports.
Right.
But athletes like Doctor, they represent the dedication and perseverance
They do.
it takes to excel in these lesser known events.
And they train for years.
Right.
Often with far less recognition
Right.
or support.
It's a good reminder that there are so many inspiring athletes out there
Yeah,
pushing their limits, achieving incredible things,
for sure.
even if they don't always make the front page.
Yeah, that's very true.
Next up, we have Jeb Bush,
Oh, okay.
turning 72 today,
All right.
part of a political dynasty.
He is.
Though, his own presidential aspirations
Yeah,
didn't quite pan out
they didn't.
the way he might have hoped.
Right.
I mean, the Bush family name, it carries a lot of weight
It does. It does.
in American politics,
It does.
but it also comes with its own set of challenges,
Oh,
right?
it does.
I mean, Jeb's attempt to follow in,
Yeah.
his father and his brother's footsteps,
It's a lot of pressure.
it highlights the complexities of political legacies
Yeah.
and just the difficulty of escaping the shadow
That's a big shot.
of such a prominent family.
For sure.
It's like running a race with everyone, comparing your every stride
I know.
to those who came before you.
Right. Exactly.
And finally, let's wrap up our birthday bonanza
Okay.
with a trip to Gilligan's Island.
Oh, fun.
Tina Louise,
Yeah.
the iconic Ginger,
Love her.
is celebrating her 91st birthday today.
91. Wow.
It's amazing to think about
Yeah.
the impact these classic sitcoms
I've had such a big impact.
have had on our culture.
For sure.
I mean, Gilligan's Island
Yeah.
is a perfect example of a show that's become like this cultural touchstone.
It represents a simpler time.
Yeah.
And those characters, they become almost like archetypal, you know?
Yeah.
The bumbling skipper, the millionaire, the movie star, they're
Yeah.
just like instantly recognizable.
I think there's something comforting
There is.
about revisiting those classic shows.
Yeah.
But now for the age-old question, Ginger or Marianne?
Oh, the eternal debate.
I know.
I mean, that question has sparked countless conversations.
It has.
And I think it reflects our fascination with, like, contrasting personalities, like Ginger, the glamorous Hollywood starlet,
Yeah.
versus Marianne, the practical and wholesome girl next door. Who will you choose?
I've got to say, I've always been Team Marianne.
Oh, really?
There's just something about, her
Yeah.
down-to-earth charm
I get that.
and, like, can-do spirit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I find it endearing.
Yeah, she's very likable.
But I mean, I can see the appeal
Oh, for sure.
of Ginger's glamour, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they represent
Yeah.
two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating how these
Right.
seemingly simple sitcom characters
Yeah.
can spark these enduring debates.
They really do.
Like, I think it speaks to, like,
Yeah.
our own desires
For sure.
and aspirations.
Maybe even a bit of wish fulfillment.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, do we see ourselves as the practical Marianne?
Right.
Or do we yearn for a touch of Ginger's sparkle?
Right, exactly.
Maybe a bit of both.
Maybe.
It's like those personality quizzes.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you Gryffindor or a Slytherin?
Exactly.
But anyway, back to February 11th.
Okay.
I mean, we covered so much ground today.
We did.
From the birth of American healthcare to the Beatles' invasion,
Oh, yeah.
fake autobiographies,
Mm.
and of course,
All those birthdays.
all those incredible birthdays.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much history is packed into a single date.
It really is. And, we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, think about all the stories that haven't been told,
Right.
The lives lived, the events that, like,
Shape the world.
shaped the world, but they never, like,
Never made it into the history book.
made it into the history books.
It's humbling.
It is.
It makes you realize that every day
Yeah.
is filled with these untold stories.
Yeah. Every date
Yeah.
is a portal to this vast
Yeah.
and intricate tapestry
It really is.
of human experience.
Yeah.
And I think the more we explore,
Yeah.
the more we understand the forces
Yeah.
that have shaped our world and continue to influence our lives today.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners today?
I think,
Yeah.
it's that every day, even a seemingly ordinary one like February 11th,
Right.
is an opportunity for discovery.
Keep your eyes open.
Keep your mind curious.
And don't be afraid to
Dive deeper.
dive deeper into those stories that surround you. You never know what you might find.
You really don't.
Who knows? Maybe you'll uncover a hidden historical gem, or make a surprising connection, or even discover that you share a birthday with someone extraordinary. Keep exploring. Keep those calendars marked.
Yeah.
Because you never know what adventures await you
You never know.
on the next seemingly ordinary day.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.